Well,
Go ahead,
I
Flatzoid.
did find it interesting in his email. He did say maps, and he said, if you're looking at the Gleason map, the sizes and things are distorted. I would say, yeah, what about you can show me one accurate 100% map for the globe? Even your Mercator map has distortion sizes and stuff. So it doesn't really matter what the distortions are because every map has their own unique um, point of contention and what they are designed for. The Gleason's map is not a distance map; it's a time and sundial map actually. So it's not made to say the distances and the sizes of continents. So that just was one thing that I found very interesting. Would Peter be able to show me any globe map that has all the continents 100% in correct configuration, as he puts it, I would say.
All right, 2 minutes on the floor. Over to you, Peter.
So the the Mercator map is distorted because it's flat. By mathematical definition, you cannot show an undistorted flat map of a spherical surface without, I mean, it's not possible. It's what mathematicians call a non-developable surface. So all flat maps of a sphere are going to be distorted in some way. The only undistorted map you can make of the surface of a sphere is a sphere, and that's why schoolrooms have globes. If you look at a schoolroom globe, that's undistorted.
All right, I think he's handing the ball back. So go ahead, Flatzoid.
Okay, no, so you would understand that it's hypocritical to say, oh, Gleason's map, so therefore the continent doesn't look right. You would say that is then hypocritical because you don't have a map that shows it at all the same size either.
From the sounds of things, let's just try to do our open discussion because it sounds like we're getting wrapped up nice and succinctly. I think we've set a good tone, so let's try it, fellas. Open discussion.
Flatzoid, I just gave you a map. I just described one, a schoolroom globe.
Globe's not a map. By definition, it's not
Yes,
a.
it is.
Go
Why
and
is
get
it
the
not?
definition. I had the same debate with FTFE, and while he was telling me it's wrong, we had the actual definition on screen saying there's a
All right.
distinction between a map and a globe.
All right. Well, then basically you've rigged the question because you're saying, give me something that's not a sphere that doesn't distort a sphere.
No, my
It's
point of
mathematically impossible.
yeah, but that's my point. So I would say it's a mute argument to make a claim that oh, Gleason map, Africa's distorted or whatever. I can say, well, every map on the globe is distorted too. So
Yeah,
therefore, it's the
because
argument.
okay, let me share my screen. Give me one
I
second.
understand your reasoning. I'm saying then it's just a
Oh
mute
no, I don't
argument.
think you do understand my reasoning. I
Yeah,
really
you guys
don't.
are trying to take spherical objects and wrap it flat. That's your whole argument.
No, we
All right,
we're
I'll give you a minute to do your screen share there.
all right. Um,
There you go. Just let me know when you're ready. And I'll remind everybody as well, because looking at the audience here, we've got almost 700 people that are tuned in right now live. Welcome everybody. We hope you hit the like button, share this out in those lovely spaces you like having these discussions. Looks like Peter's got his screen share ready, so let's get over here. And you're ready to go. 1 minute on the floor, Peter.
okay, Flatzoid, can you tell me what this is?
The equidistant map.
Can you there's more to it. Can you tell me what the orange blobs are?
That's where your sun is. I don't know. You tell me. You're the
No,
one
it's
presenting.
it's called Tissot's indicatrix.
Okay.
It shows mathematically exactly what the distortion is.
Mm-hmm.
The distortion exactly matches how this is projecting from a globe, a spherical globe surface to a flat map. Every flat map of the globe has a Tissot's indicatrix to show the math behind the distortion.
Mm-hmm.
It can be
And
shown mathematically that they all correspond to the surface of a sphere.
you can show me a map that doesn't have distortions.
If by map you mean a flat surface, then no, by definition, you cannot have. How
And
are
that's my
you
argument.
acting like
And that's
that's
my
winning
argument.
anything?
And that's my argument. As I said, it's a mute argument because in the email with what you want to say, you say, oh, because the Gleason map it's distorted. Great.
Yeah,
So
distorted
you don't have an
according to.
undistorted my point is you don't have an undistorted map for the globe either.
No,
Therefore, it's a
you just
mute
chopped off
argument.
half my point. When you
It's a mute
quoted that,
argument.
the no, it's not, because what I said was it's distorted according to spherical globe math. Exactly according to spherical globe math,
And
which mathematically shows that it comes from a sphere. If you measure the distortion on this map, it will match the distortion between this map and a sphere, which shows that the real life shape of your country is as it should be on a spherical globe.
okay, and is there math for dark matter?
Total red herring fallacy.
No, I'm trying to make a point here. Is there math for
Then make your point. Don't make a red herring
I was
fallacy.
still talking. So there's math for dark matter. Does that make dark matter real?
It's the math of the globe can be measured using a vehicle, an automobile and its odometer, or it can be measured using, surveying equipment. There are all kinds of ways to measure the shape of your country. That's how they got these maps.
Yes, and
Dark
measurements
matter
were
is a
done.
red herring fallacy.
No, I'm trying to make a point that you're saying because maths, therefore reality. We got maths for things that don't exist. You can make maths for unicorns. It doesn't make it
Okay,
exist.
Flatzoid,
Now,
do
but
you
I'm glad you're moving on to surveying because that requires a flat Earth.
no. Flatzoid, do you believe 1 + 1 = 2?
Yes, mathematically it does.
All right, thank you. So math can be valid sometimes. If you take one apple and you add one more apple, you have how many apples?
2 apples. And if I describe that
All right.
apple as an orange, and it's not really orange in reality, does that make it an apple?
No, you're just arbitrarily
orange.
you're using math wrong in order to try to debunk math. That's
No,
not an
it's
argument.
very simple. Can you make an equation for unicorns to exist?
That's an incoherent question. I cannot
Okay,
answer it.
let's say you made an equation for dark matter. That's what we're talking about now. There's an equation that shows there has to be dark matter because it needs to exist, otherwise the rest of the models don't work. You would agree with that?
There is a specific set of observed evidence for and against dark matter.
Great.
That's why
But
it's still hypothetical.
okay, but my point is there's math for it.
Yeah.
And that math describes dark matter as a real thing.
No, it analyzes dark matter as a hypothetical thing. Math does not.
Math is a description. It's a language. It just describes things. You can use math to
Yes.
describe anything. Doesn't mean what it's describing is reality. That's my point.
You can also use it to deduce things, as we just did with with 1 apple plus 1 apple equals how many apples. That's a deduction. Okay, it's a very, very basic, like first grade deduction, because we can't apparently get on to the deduction that when you measure the shape of South Africa using an odometer or surveying equipment or whatever you want to use, the shape differs from this azimuthal map by exactly the right math as you would expect from a spherical Earth.
And
you
that's my
cannot get
point.
around that.
And that's my point. No map, encoding the azimuthal, the equidistant map, everyone is distorted. Okay, that's my point. So it's a mute argument because the picture on the map doesn't fit the math in reality, doesn't make the
it
math
does fit the
wrong.
math. That's what I'm showing you. It does fit the math exactly. The math exactly describes how it will differ from reality.
Okay. Now, can we please move on to the measurements? Because you says it's measured